The Substance, exploring the dark side of perfection and identity in Coralie Fargeet's daring thriller. How far would you go to reclaim youth and beauty in a world that celebrates it above all else? Welcome to Movement Photography Project. In today's deep dive, we're exploring Coralie Fargeet's 2024 film, The Substance. A striking addition to the body horror genre, this film tackles complex issues like ageism, identity, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. Let's delve into the themes, characters, and shocking scenes that make The Substance a provocative exploration of society's obsession with youth. Plot overview. The story unfolds. In The Substance, we follow the story of Elisabeth Sparkle, portrayed by Demi Moore, a once iconic Hollywood actress known for her vibrant energy and youthful looks. Now in her later years, Elisabeth faces a harsh reality as her career and self-worth fade under Hollywood's ageist pressures. Elisabeth feels discarded by the industry that once adored her, seeing her future dim as the doors close on her once promising career. Desperate to regain her former glory, Elisabeth turns to a mysterious and illegal drug called the Substance, rumored to reverse aging. Upon injecting this serum, Elisabeth manifests a younger, idealized version of herself who takes on the name Sue, played by Margaret Qualley. The twist? Elisabeth and Sue share one body, alternating consciousness every 7 days, each experiencing life through the same vessel. As they begin to cohabit, each woman wrestles with identity, autonomy, and the dark side of her desires. This body-swapping twist propels The Substance into a complex exploration of identity, control, and the dangers of vanity. As Elisabeth and Sue's lives become intertwined, the film raises difficult questions. What defines a person's identity? How does society's view of beauty and age affect self-worth? And ultimately, at what cost are we willing to pursue perfection? Themes and symbolism. Unpacking the core of The Substance. Coralie Fargeet uses The Substance to critique society's dangerous obsession with youth and the standards that define worth. Let's break down some of the film's most impactful themes. The cost of beauty and ageism. One of the film's most pressing themes is the toll society's obsession with beauty takes on individuals, especially women. Elisabeth's struggles mirror the real-world ageism that persists in Hollywood. Her desperation to remain relevant and adored reflects how powerful the pressure to stay youthful can be. Through Elisabeth's story, The Substance critiques how aging is viewed as a flaw to be fixed, rather than a natural part of life. Duality of identity and self-destruction. Elisabeth's decision to create Sue is an attempt to reclaim her former self, but it also introduces a fragmented identity. Sue represents Elisabeth's idealized self, free from the flaws she feels society sees in her. This duality becomes self-destructive as the two personalities clash, revealing the dangers of rejecting one's true self in pursuit of an artificial ideal. The perils of perfection. The Substance portrays the pursuit of perfection as a path filled with unforeseen consequences. Elisabeth's transformation goes beyond physical changes, affecting her mental stability and ultimately leading her down a path of destruction. The film cautions viewers about the seductive nature of perfection, highlighting that in trying to become an ideal, one risks losing authenticity and peace. Autonomy and control. As Elisabeth and Sue vie for control over their shared body, The Substance raises questions about autonomy and consent. This struggle symbolizes the internal conflict many face between societal expectations and personal freedom, especially for women in a society that values appearance above authenticity. Character analysis. Elisabeth and Sue's descent into chaos. Each character in The Substance plays a significant role in conveying the film's themes, especially the two protagonists, Elisabeth and Sue. Let's examine these characters and how they serve as mirrors of societal pressures and personal insecurities. Elisabeth Sparkle. Demi Moore brings depth to Elisabeth, portraying her as a woman burdened by the expectations of beauty and youth. Elisabeth is sympathetic yet flawed. Her pursuit of youth is driven by desperation and insecurity, making her journey both tragic and relatable. Elizabeth's struggles reflect the harsh reality faced by many women who feel pressured to conform to society's beauty standards. Moore's portrayal emphasizes the internal and external forces that shape Elizabeth's decisions, making her a compelling anti-heroine. Sue. Played by Margaret Qualley, Sue is Elizabeth's clone and represents her youthful ideal. However, Sue's presence raises ethical and existential questions. Does she have autonomy, or is she merely a projection of Elizabeth's desires? As Sue begins to assert herself, she becomes a tragic figure trapped in a life she didn't choose. Her character symbolizes the objectification inherent in beauty culture, as she is treated as an accessory to Elizabeth rather than a person in her own right. Harvey. Dennis Quaid plays Harvey, a sleazy Hollywood executive who dismisses Elizabeth as past her prime. Harvey embodies the systemic sexism and ageism prevalent in Hollywood, serving as a catalyst for Elizabeth's desperation. His character represents the real-world gatekeepers who perpetuate toxic beauty standards, pushing women toward drastic measures to remain relevant. Cinematic techniques, crafting the visual and emotional impact. Coralie Fargeet's directorial style enhances the horror elements of The Substance, using cinematic techniques to create an unsettling atmosphere. Let's explore some of these techniques. Practical effects and body horror. The film employs practical effects rather than CGI to create visceral horror sequences that underscore the physical and psychological toll of Elizabeth's transformation. These effects are both grotesque and realistic, grounding the film's horror in the body rather than the supernatural, which makes it all the more impactful. Lighting and cinematography. The Substance uses lighting to reflect Elizabeth's inner turmoil. Bright, sterile lighting highlights her anxiety and loss of identity, while darker, shadowy scenes represent her descent into chaos. This contrast between light and dark parallels Elizabeth's internal conflict, illustrating the duality of her character. Sound design. The film's soundscape intensifies the horror, using distorted audio cues that mimic Elizabeth's deteriorating mental state. The soundtrack also features haunting melodies that mirror Elizabeth's sense of isolation and despair, drawing viewers deeper into her struggle. Interesting trivia and behind-the-scenes insights. Here are some fascinating details about the making of The Substance that add depth to its viewing experience. Demi Moore's transformation. Demi Moore underwent extensive prosthetic makeup to portray Elizabeth's aging appearance, including scenes where she appears bald with sagging skin. This transformation demonstrates Moore's dedication to the role and highlights the film's critique of beauty culture. Cannes Film Festival reception. The Substance premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, where it received a 13-minute standing ovation. The film's raw portrayal of ageism and body horror captivated audiences and critics alike. Coralie Fargeet's inspiration. Director Coralie Fargeet has described The Substance as a "be careful what you wish for" fable, inspired by society's obsession with beauty and perfection. Her vision brings a satirical edge to the body horror genre, making The Substance a unique entry in contemporary cinema. Comparative analysis. The Substance in the context of body horror. The Substance draws comparisons to other notable body horror films like David Cronenberg's The Fly and Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan. While The Fly explores the consequences of scientific hubris, and Black Swan delves into the pursuit of artistic perfection, The Substance critiques the societal pressures on women to maintain youth and beauty. Each film explores the lengths to which individuals go to achieve their ideals, but The Substance offers a uniquely modern take on these issues, making it a thought-provoking addition to the genre. Unpacking. Misunderstood elements. Symbolism in The Substance. Certain aspects of The Substance carry deeper meanings that enhance its narrative complexity. Here's a closer look at some key symbols. The symbiotic relationship between Elizabeth and Sue. The alternating consciousness represents Elizabeth's struggle between who she is and who society expects her to be. This duality symbolizes the pressure many women feel to balance personal identity with societal expectations, especially in terms of appearance. The transformation sequence. The film's climax, where Elizabeth and Sue's identities blur, represents the ultimate loss of self in the pursuit of perfection. This moment serves as a commentary on the risks of losing oneself to external pressures, portraying the pursuit of an idealized self as a path to self-destruction. Critical reception, a polarizing film. The Substance has received mixed reviews, with some praising its bold commentary on beauty culture, while others feel it leans too heavily into shock value. Currently holding a 91% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the film's impact on audiences remains strong, sparking discussions about ageism and identity in modern society. Conclusion. The Substance is more than a horror film. It's a critique of society's dangerous beauty standards and an exploration of identity, autonomy, and the human obsession with perfection. Through visceral imagery, complex themes, and powerful performances, Corley Farjeet crafts a film that challenges audiences to reflect on their own values and the cost of societal expectations. This haunting tale leaves us questioning the lengths we go to maintain control over our identities, and at what price. And now, to answer the question we started with, how far would you go to reclaim youth and beauty? For Elisabeth, the answer lies in a harrowing journey of identity loss, proving that perfection can come at an unimaginable cost. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the Substance. If this analysis resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest film discussions. Let's continue the conversation. What themes in the Substance struck you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below.